tribute to India's soldiers. It's 20 years of our victory at Kargil this week, but many families in India paid a heavy price with the loss of their loved ones. Tonight, we remember our Kargil heroes.
My company's success was ye Dil Mange More. The guys were so highly charged up that they're wanting that some more bunkers should have been there and we would have got the more chaps.
He was the bravest of the brave, whose slogan Ye Dil Mange More defined the spirit of some of India's bravest sons. Soldiers who fought some of the most intense infantry battles since the Second World War. For his bravery, Vikram Batra was honored with the Paramveer Chakra. At the height of the Kargil war, the NDTV team met the young captain just days before he perished, fighting to liberate the impossible point 4875 in the Kargil heights. His men knew him as Sher Shah, and the enemy had heard of this name as well.
They were on the same frequency which were we on our radio sets, and one of the Pakistani soldiers or officer, whosoever it was, he said me my code name was Sher Shah. Oh Sher Shah, you have come. Don't try to come up, otherwise you'll have a tough time. And that was the time they gave us a challenge, and my guys, they went wild. Okay, how dare a Pakistani troop can challenge us?
Vikram's next operation on the 7th of July 1999 was his last, and what he personally managed to do helped send the Pakistani army into full retreat. In bloody hand-to-hand combat with Pak soldiers, Vikram charged, screaming Durga Mata Ki Jai, his Jackrif regiment's war cry. Entering a stone fortification, he killed 5 Pakistani soldiers using his gun and bayonet, but ultimately perished when he was targeted by an enemy machine gun nest. Buoyed by his leadership, his soldiers attacked the Pakistani position with vengeance, capturing point 4875.
Most people think that we do not have to fight hand-to-hand fight now. But Kargil war, there was a lot of hand-to-hand fighting. It happened in point 4875 also. Many places this kind of a thing.
I'll share a very personal incident. When I was young, a school-going kid, I really used to get scared looking at a dead body. And when the body was taken out of the coffin and the tricolor along with his cap was handed over to mom, I took the body out of the coffin and I hold it in my hands. And that was the first cremation ever in my life. Whatever fear I had for death, it went off.
He held my hand and dragged me out of that particular bunker. Probably that saved my life because the counter-attack was already on. 7th July early morning, I was sitting and firing towards the enemy. That is the time a hand grenade was lobbed from the enemy. The grenade landed right in front of my feet. When I got severely injured by the enemy grenade, Captain Vikram Batra came running towards my post, and sensing the danger that enemy could have launched a counter-attack as well as lobbed more grenades into the bunker in which I was sitting, he held my hand and dragged me out of that particular bunker. Probably that saved my life because the counter-attack was already on. Having saved my life, he continued with the attack. Captain Vikram Batra, with disregard to his personal safety, charged upon the feature, taking the only way which was available, that is the frontal attack, thereby eliminating the enemies and in the bargain making the supreme sacrifice of losing his life, but not before hoisting the tricolor on point 4875. I joined 13th Battalion Jammu and Kashmir Rifles during January 1999. During that time, Captain Vikram Batra had gone to attend his commando course. That is the time I first came across this officer. I remember one instance in which the enemy shouted at us कि हमें माधुरी दीक्षित दे दो तो हम ये फीचर छोड़ देंगे. तो Captain Vikram Batra says he fires from all the cylinders, he fires from all the AK-47 which he was holding and says with love from Madhuri Dixit, thereby eliminating a few of them. That is how an officer he was, with full of even in the face of death, even in the face of fear, he had the ability to show courage, he had the presence of mind to make fun of that event too. Before setting out for the attack, it's customary for all the officers to hug each other. When I came to hug Captain Vikram Batra, he told me a couple of things. One is, गले लगना यारो न जाने कौन सी मुलाकात आखिरी होगी. That almost moved me into tears. The second thing which he told me was कि तुमको बहुत आगे जाना है, हिम्मत नहीं हारना, and victory will definitely be ours. I personally, having known Captain Vikram Batra, do remember him day in and day out. As I told, I wish the last hug was necessary and I wish I could have done it.
I raised the issue of marriage as I was feeling a bit insecure. So without saying anything, he took out the blade from his wallet, put a cut in his thumb and filled my mouth with his blood. I met Vikram for the first time in 1995 at Punjab University, Chandigarh, when we both had joined MA English there. But as fate would have it, neither he nor I completed it. I guess it was just destiny playing its part in bringing us together to share our lives and become an integral part of each other. I can still vividly recall the air of excitement in his voice when he had called up to tell me that he had got selected for the IMA. That news had in fact put the seal on our relationship. But at times later on, because we used to be apart a lot, whenever I used to get pressurized regarding the issue of a marriage, he always used to tell me, take care to get what you like or you will be forced to like what you get. I still try to follow that in my life. It was a kind of a ritual with us to visit Mansa Devi temple and Gurdwara Sri Nada Sahib. On one such visit to the Gurdwara, while doing a parikrama of the Nishan Sahib, he was walking behind me. On completing the parikrama, he suddenly said, "Congratulations, Mrs. Batra." I swirled around to see him holding one end of my dupatta. He gave me a very beautiful smile and said, "Didn't you realize this is the fourth time that we are doing this parikrama?" Needless to say, it left me totally speechless. So that was the level of dedication and commitment he had towards our relationship. He was a man on the go, very restless, had to be doing something at all times, couldn't sit still even for a moment. While waiting for an order in a restaurant, he would start tapping the bike keys on the table. On being stopped from doing that, he would start tapping his fingers on the table. Again, on being asked to stop, he would start tapping his feet. And finally, on being given a stern look, he would start drinking water. And drink water as if he had been thirsty for ages. So now when I recall all this, I can feel what he must be going through during the Kargil war, what his state of mind must have been. He must be feeling restless inside, raring to go. On one of his visits from Sopore, I raised the issue of marriage as I was feeling a bit insecure. So without saying anything, he took out the blade from his wallet, put a cut in his thumb, and filled my mouth with his blood. That is the most cherished moment of my life till date. Though later on I used to tease him that he is pura filmy. How do I describe a lifetime of memories, though made only in 4 years of association? I could go on, and the memories would still keep coming. Not a single day in this past 17 years I've felt alone or detached from you in any sense. It seems as if you are away on a posting. I feel so proud when people talk about your accomplishments, but along with that, there's some regret too in some corner of my heart. You should have been here sharing, listening to the stories of your brave deeds, of how you're an inspiration for the youth of today. I know in my heart we are going to meet one day. It is just a matter of time.
In the run-up to 20 years of Kargil, today we remember Captain Anuj Nair, who was all of 24 when he went up to those heights of Kargil, never to return.
At the War Memorial in Dras, soldiers like Captain Anuj Nair are honoured. 20 years ago, Captain Nair was involved in one of the most heroic missions of the Kargil War when he went up the Mashko Valley in a particular area and secured a height that had been captured by Pakistani intruders. For that, he paid with his life. The nation has honoured him with a Mahavir Chakra. He was just 24, tasked with a near impossible military objective. When Captain Anuj Nair of the 17th Jat Regiment went up those heights in Kargil, he probably knew that the chances of returning alive were remote. That didn't deter him. And what he achieved on the 6th of July 1999 on the western slopes of point 4875 in the Mashko Valley in Kargil helped India in a big way in winning back the Kargil heights. Under heavy enemy artillery and mortar fire, Captain Nair climbed up those heights, his target 4 enemy positions. Launching rockets and lobbing grenades, the young captain along with his men kept going, clearing one position after the other, till he reached the 4th enemy post, when he was struck by a rocket-propelled grenade.
7 July 9:39 is where my time froze. He has gone with a purpose. He has left behind an image. That image exists on that small piece of land.
By then, Captain Nair and his men had killed 9 enemy soldiers and destroyed 3 medium machine gun positions of the Pakistan Army. His citation for the Mahavir Chakra, the second highest gallantry award, credits him with outstanding personal bravery and exemplary junior leadership.
Our tribute to Kargil's heroes. It's been 20 years this week since the Kargil War and our victory, but it's a war which also had a heavy cost, where over 500 Indian soldiers were killed.
As we talk about the bravery, the valor, and the sacrifice of the soldiers who fought in the Kargil War in the summer of 1999, let's not for a moment forget about the incredible sacrifices of the family members, the fathers and mothers, the wives and children. This is the story of Vijayan Thapar, a young soldier who died in Kargil and the memories that he's left behind, not just for his parents, but for the country. Like thousands of other families out there whose sons and daughters were fighting for their country, Colonel Thapar knew that there was a chance he would never see his son again. Today, though, the Colonel is a proud man. His son may be gone, but Vijayendra Thapar, like so many others, has earned the respect of a nation.
The spirit which won the day in Kargil is quite evident in my son's last letter, which he wrote 2 hours before he left for the attack. I'll read it out. Dearest Papa, Mama, Birdie and Granny, by the time you get this letter, I'll be observing you all from the sky, enjoying the hospitality of Apsaras. I have no regrets. In fact, even if I become a human again, I will join the army and fight for my nation. If you can, please come and see where the Indian Army fought for your tomorrow. As far as the unit is concerned, the new chap should be told about this sacrifice. I hope my photo will be kept in the A Company, Mandir with Karni Mata. Whatever organ can be taken should be done.
Well, it's been 10 years since the Kargil War, the first war in the subcontinent that was played out on live television. The war inspired many young people, both men and women, to join the army. NDTV's Nathan Gokhale introduces you to some of them today.
I was in my 9th standard when the war actually happened. At the same time, I was in NCC. So always I wanted to be something different. And then this war happened. The media showed the war in such a way that I got really inspired to join the army.
The Kargil war inspired Girija and Shraddha. As schoolgirls during the war, they did not realize the importance of the event, but still felt inspired to enroll in the army.
I was in 9th standard that time, and I remember as a child it was difficult to analyze what actually was going on. But then yes, this much was understood that something major is happening. The whole country is fighting and a war is on.
Coincidentally, both Girija and Shraddha are currently posted in 2 neighboring units in the Kargil Dras sector, and both have identical jobs in their respective battalions. As adjutants, they are the linchpin of their unit, acting as an important link between the commanding officer and the soldiers. Girija and Shraddha are of course not alone. Several men who were boys back then, Lieutenant Gagandeep, Lieutenant Saurabh and Lieutenant Chakraveer, coincidentally posted in Kargil, have identical stories. Children back then who felt inspired by the stories of Kargil war are now joining the Indian Army in large numbers. In the future, they will take the leadership of the Indian troops in the coming decades.